Welcome to Already Won.
Your actions and your words, are they throwing someone a life jacket that can bring them up, or are they throwing them an anchor that can bring them down?
Hello and welcome to Already Won Sports Friends Podcast. I'm your host Ben Wildman with Kyle Epps, the Mad Dog. Kyle, welcome to Already Won. We're talking about volleyball today.
We're talking about volleyball today? We haven't done that, have we?
We've mentioned it, but not had a whole episode.
No. This is a groundbreaking episode, right? Because not only we're talking about volleyball, but we're having a guest who's not one guest, not two guests, but three. And you know what? They're all sisters and they're all the same age. Why? Because they're triplets.
Wow.
Ben, volleyball triplets. This is a groundbreaking show right here. This is going to be the mark of the turning point for Already Won right here.
There we go. Can't wait for this. Well, for listeners who don't know about volleyball, you've played volleyball a long time, played volleyball in Europe, right? Tell the listeners a bit about the sport of volleyball, right? How does it work? What positions are there? Just give us an overview.
Well, there's a ball and a net, and there's six people on each side, and they're playing. They're hitting the ball back. Don't. If you ever watch volleyball, the worst volleyball, and you probably know it's playing football, but just having a pickup game of volleyball where you get people smashing the ball with two hands and throwing it over. I mean, no, it's hard to watch. It's even harder to play if you've kind of played, at a little more competitively. So I love volleyball. It was a sport that I did in high school. You said university in Europe. It was great. And the rules have changed since when I played. We were playing up to 21. You couldn't. You could block the serve. Now you can't do that. There was only points when you were serving. So now it's always been kind of fast paced, but it's much fast paced now, and it's a great game to play. It's a great game to watch, and I think just having people who know what they're doing. If you if you get the chance to play with me, I'm not going to beat you up because you can't play, but I'll try to give you some pointers. Just help me out. Be patient, and then we'll be good. We'll be able to play well. So
yeah, I've seen that. I've seen you do that at different places around the world when there's been beaches or different places. I've seen that. What position did you play when you were playing, just so the listeners know?
Well, so I was middle blocker. So I did all I would always rotate into the middle. I did the blocking, I did the jumping, and I did the little ones and twos over the net. So I was in the middle. Yeah.
There we go. Very, very good. Well, love it. So volleyball, can't wait for that. Now tell us about our guests. They play for the Milwaukee Sting right now, right? And tell us a little bit of an overview of the triplets.
So Dooyema Triplets, Addison, Emily, Hailey, they've been members of our church here in Brookfield. They play at the Milwaukee Sting, which is the club level. They also play at their high school, Brookfield East, and now they're going to go to Dordt University in Iowa and play together in the team. They're going to be half the team, three right there.
That's it.
All I need is three more people. They got half the team.
Half the team knows they've already won. So that is a great start right there.
There you go. So they've been, members of our church, members of our youth group. That's how I got to know them, because I'm working with the high school age youth group, and they've just been solid women who've been athletic in their pursuit of volleyball, but also academics. They've excelled, and in their faith, of course, it's foundational and pivotal to what they do in life. So
there we go.
Good.
And we know around the world, many young people are being discipled through sport, right? So in the different sports friends fields we're in, we create CCSMs where you have a trained coach who's in front of young people and they see them grow in their faith. And these are three people that you've seen grow in your own church and through sport as well. And so this is going to be a great episode for people to hear kind of what that looks like locally where you are as well, in Milwaukee. And so how does faith and sport interact together? And so we're looking forward to this, Mad Dog. Very much looking forward to this. I hope they understand me. It's late over here in England tonight, so I hope they understand me. But yeah, you can help me out with that if not, right?
I'll translate for you. If I hear a little cue that they can you translate that? They got their Google Translate. I'm sure we'll tell them to get that ready to go. Scottish, English dialect. You're kind of up there in Scotland, so I'm just call you Scottish.
Yeah, I'm 132 Scottish, so yeah.
132?
Yeah, there you go.
I'm like 199.
And must be some Scandinavian stuff in there, right? People,
I'm pretty much Scandinavian. Sorry.
Yeah.
Through. Yeah.
199 Scottish, 98
Viking.
99 Viking. There we go, Mad Dog. Well, looking forward to this. Should we do a groundbreaking episode?
Let's do it. But people, as you listen to this, if you're a coach, listen to this as this is one of your players. This is one of your athletes that you've coached. Are they saying the same things, because you've built that into them? This is attributed hopefully to good coaching. So let's bring them in.
I love that, Mad Dog. So good from you. So good. Let's bring him in. All right, guys. This is very special. We're not having just one guest, not two guests. We're having three guests, Mad Dog, the trifecta. Please welcome for the first time and already won. The first time, triplets, Addison, Emily, and Hailey. Welcome to already won.
Hello, thank you.
Yeah, I think for those who are just listening, not watching it, they're sitting next to each other. The names are on the screen, Addison, Emily, and Hailey, but they may not be in the correct order. So maybe there's a prize out there, Ben. If they can get the right order, they can email us and tell us who's in the right order.
There we go. Get a free Milwaukee Sting jersey coming to you. Right order.
Got a lot of those.
Might be used, but yeah, there we go. Well, welcome. So funny thing is, I was telling to your mom, I was going to say this. I haven't even told Ben this yet, but I think you're related to my wife's family. So your grandma on your dad's side is a Kuiper in her maiden name, and my mother-in-law and my wife's mom is a Kuiper. So they're already like a distant cousin, and so now it just keeps distant. So somehow we're related.
Small world.
There you go. Dutch bingo, people.
Yeah.
You may win.
I love that. I just want to find out more trivia, more facts like this. Well, I know you three are going to be in sync, being triplets, right? So we're looking forward to this. But our podcast is called Already Won. So I'm wondering, let's start left to right. What would your definition of that phrase "already won" be?
I would say, like, if I think of the phrase "already won," it's just like gives you peace and comfort knowing that, like, as Christians, we've won because we know that we're going to live with Jesus one day forever. And so that just brings a lot of comfort and a lot of peace in this, like, day and age where there's a lot of anxiety going on. And even, like, in sports, you might be anxious or nervous, but we don't have to be worried about that because we know that, or we don't have to control our future either because we know that A, God's in control, and B, one day we get to live with him forever. So that brings us a lot of joy and peace knowing that.
I agree. Yeah, I think that already won, that I know that, like, my identity isn't found in, like, winning or losing in, like, sports, but that it's really shaped in Christ. And so that's definitely a comfort, like Hailey said. And it's definitely a winning like idea for me. But
I kind of took this in a different direction, just like thinking about how, like, blessed all of us are, and like how we have a great group of, like, friends and community around us who we know, well, we can count on and always go back to if and when we are struggling, and just like having that community is just so special.
There we go, Ben.
To try, we're going deeper. Deeper gives a different layer to already won. So good, so good. Peace, joy, identity, community. Brilliant.
There we go. So I know the sisters from working them in high school group. Now they're seniors and they're graduating, going on to their college career. But how has your faith shaped you in the way you approach not just volleyball, but school and being sisters and having friends and all that?
yeah, I mean, a lot of our experience with volleyball has been either on a club team or on, like, a public high school team. So obviously not everyone's Christians, and most of the time it'd be, like, just be us three as Christians on the team. And so, like, that definitely brings a lot of differing views and opinions and things people do that, like, we wouldn't believe in or whatever. And so, like, I think it's definitely easy in those times to, like, judge others almost. So, like, that's somewhere where I've found myself being like, okay, wait, let me take a step back, pray about this, ask for, so that I don't judge them and instead can just be loving and kind to those people. So I think my faith has helped ground me in that way. And when I hear about all these things that people may be doing, just, like, having the faith, knowing that, like, I'm grounded in Christ, and that's, like, what defines me. Yeah.
Going off the volleyball thing too, I would say, like, shapes how I think about wins and losses. So, like, if we do lose, I know that I, like, trust that that's God's plan for our team in that moment, and I can have peace with that. So yeah, definitely my faith shapes how I think about that. And I would say, like, similar to what Addison said, like, my faith shapes, like, the way I respond in certain situations. And so, like, if we're talking, like, tryouts in volleyball, tryouts are always a super stressful time. But, like, through our faith, it has helped me to be like, if I make a team I don't really want to be on or something like that, I can say, like, it's okay because this is where God wants me. And so just being able to shape the way that you think those thoughts when something happens that you aren't really, like, hoping for, my faith helps me like respond in a way that like honors God, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And it's like cool that there's like some people like friends with that are like so disappointed about like with tryouts, like making a different team. And so it's cool to be able to be like, oh, like we believe that that's where God's puts us on this team for a reason or like whatever. So it's cool to like be a witness in that way too. Yeah.
Cool. Very cool. I like the first bit you're talking about being on a team, and yeah, I've got a phrase like less judging, more nudging, like less judging teammates, but more nudging people with kindness and like intentionality and things that actually nudging people close at the kingdom of God by doing that as well. So yeah, really resonate with that, being on a team, and yeah, so much being the only Christians as well. But yeah, really good things there around. Bigger than the scoreboard is what we say within Sports Friends, right, Carl? We say it's bigger than the scoreboard. We have a different scoreboard.
Different scoreboard. Yep. We're not talking about wins and losses.
Yeah, that's it. Thank goodness for that. So very good. Now, I've heard you're all going to go to university together next, right? So tell us a little bit about, how that came about and that decision, and then what that next season is going to look like for you three, sporting-wise and life-wise.
I mean, yeah, we've always like obviously known about Dordt University because that's where our parents went. So it's always been like something in the back of our mind, and like we would have been fine, I would say, if we were to go to different colleges. But the fact that we are going together, it's just like you're bringing a piece of home with you, that even though it's like 7 hours away and you're not going to be like, we're not going to be with our family. But I'm really excited. I can't wait. I think it's going to be so fun. And just, having each other built-in best friends together in this next chapter that's like new and it's going to be changing. But you know that we can still be grounded because we have each other and our faith too.
Yeah, I'm definitely super excited to go to college. I think like the transition from like middle school to high school is like obviously it's similar in some ways because you're going to a new school, and I was like super scared when that happened. I was so nervous, and I was praying a lot about it, and God really answered those prayers with like good friends and good community. So I'm having that experience already, and then now going to college, I can like trust that the Lord will be faithful in the same ways that He has been the past 4 years and for all of our lives. But
yeah, and like just being playing volleyball throughout club together and in high school, and now going to college, like that's just so fun, and I'm just so excited.
But how do you do that? I mean, how do you balance being teammates, sisters, and being unique individuals, but in a competitive environment? I know that sometimes coach will put one in over the other. Sometimes one gets injured, or there's certain things that happen. So how does it, as being triplets and being sisters and being together in the same team, how do you kind of balance that?
Yeah, it's nice that all three of us are different positions. So like we don't have to compete for spots as much like against each other. So that's definitely helpful. But then also at the same time, it's great to just like be there and be able to support each other and like really know like the ins and outs of the teams that might like other people might not understand, and just be able to cheer each other on. And like especially in volleyball, it's such like it's like literally a game of mistakes. Like the other team gets a point because someone else messes up. And so like if one of us is really struggling, like I can just be like, oh hey, like you're okay, like it's fine, in like a different way than another teammate might be able to, just because we have that relationship as sisters.
It's like the phrase like we're each other's biggest cheerleaders. Like we're there through all the ups and downs, and like since we're always with each other, we know like what the other person is going through, and like I don't know, just being each other's biggest cheerleaders. And like we're also competitive. Even when we were little, we would fight over what food each person got because we knew that we didn't want the other person to eat all of our food. So like we've been competitive since we were very little, and like since we're so close with each other, even though we're competitive, we can like laugh it off and still have fun and not like let that competitiveness like ruin our relationship too. Yeah, like in our club season, like a couple years ago, me and Addison were on the same team, and then Hailey was on a different team, and it worked out where we ended up like playing each other. And that was like so fun just because I'm an outside hitter, and I'm like hitting at Hailey on the other side of the net and try to like get a kill past her. So just like that camaraderie is so fun. My team won. Yeah. In case you were wondering.
It's not about the wins and losses, people.
Right.
I love it. Well, what you talked about there about this being competitive, I did some training once where they talked about the root word of competing together. It's called competiere, which is a Latin word, competiere, which means to strive together. And so when people are striving together, that's actually a really good thing to bring out the best in each other. So you just described there, like growing up, you were competitive, with food probably the whole time all the way in sport, but actually you striving with each other is actually a really good thing, and pushing each other to be the best you can be to then compete against others is actually a neutral thing, right? So being competitive, can Christians be competitive? Actually, if it's done the right way, it's a good thing. And you're striving to be the best you possibly can. And I'm hearing that as you kind of speaking there a little bit, which is good. So yeah, being a Christian, you can be competitive. It's a neutral thing, which is good. So obviously we mentioned, we say beyond the scoreboard, but obviously where we play, we know in sport that, we do want to win, and sometimes stats and all different things matter. And I'm sure that is the case in your world and things. I know we've had different guests on who play sport at different levels, all the way up to the highest possible level. But what does it look like for you girls to thrive beyond your performance? Like you've mentioned that beyond your identity, but yeah, what we obviously, when we're talking about thriving in this season, what does thriving look like for you?
I would say like in volleyball, it's like the impact you have on people's lives around you, like your teammates, and like how you carry yourself and like your body language on the court, like how that can impact people. And like when we did have an opportunity this past club season to like tell one of our teammates about God, and like she was asking questions, and it was like such a cool moment to like tell her what we know, and like just like helping her understand what our faith and like what that means. And that was like so cool and such a fun experience. So yeah, definitely the impact we have on others, I would say.
That's a one-person answer, Ben.
I guess.
No, done.
Mic drop, bam. So in the middle of all your seasons and game pressure, like what kind of defines you? What kind of helps? You've spoken of your youth group leaders, their influence on your life, being and your mom and your dad, everyone else that's kind of influenced, kind of helped you, prayed for you. What kind of habits or rhythms to help you to stay grounded in your faith, and how do you support each other when one of you is struggling?
I mean, all of us would probably say the same thing, but just really, like we all do devotions like in the morning, before school. Last year we all were doing the same devotional plan where we read through the Bible in a year. So that was kind of fun to do that and like be able to talk to each other about it. And like that's another just like cool thing about being sisters and being together, is that we can experience that together. But I think really the most important thing to staying grounded is just like being in the Word and in the Bible, and then also like having that strong community, like going to church and learning from our pastors, and then like having youth group, and like having those friends that are like our age and also Christians, is just like that's been amazing to just have that really strong community.
Yeah, we all did like the program or the devotion she was talking about. It was called the Bible Recap. Highly recommend. It's really good. And so yeah, just like getting in the Word in the morning has been really helpful for me personally, and it just like helps set the day up in like the right way, and helps me keep my eyes focused on God throughout the day rather than other things that may be distracting, like worldly things, I guess. We like support each other in that. Addison actually got hurt this past season for volleyball, and just like through prayer, like supporting her that way and like praying over her, and just trusting God in that process of healing and stuff like that.
Yeah, brilliant. We've got something in our training that we have a thing where it's the wheel. It's something that navigators have got, talks about all of those things you've mentioned, really important. So how we speak to God, how he speaks to us. So you mentioned prayer, and then how he speaks to us for his word, and then in community, and then those that don't know him as well. So you've covered the wheel there, Mad Dog, right? They're living it out, which is great. Really good, some really good things, practical things there for people to do. Now, I know this is going to be good because this is great for different people who are listening around advice. So what advice would you girls have for younger athletes to try and lead well and stay rooted and grounded in their faith? If you could speak to a younger version of you, what would you say to a younger version?
Just to like show up, like if in volleyball that's showing up even when you're tired, or showing up even if you may not be getting playing time on the court, just show up to practice anyway, like push yourself. And then if that, like in the faith, that just looks like showing up in the morning, like reading your Bible, spending time in prayer, going to church, just like, biggest piece of advice, just to show up even when you don't want to, because it's in those moments when you do show up that I think that has the biggest impact on your life and in your faith and in your walk with God.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say like really your action, like it sounds cliche, but really your actions do speak louder than your words, I guess. Like just the way that you carry yourself, like after a loss, or how you talk to your coaches, and like are you being respectful, and like how you interact with your parents, and like all of that, and your teammates. I think just really you can show show the love of Jesus in those small ways too. So like I would just advise people to just take notice of those small actions that you're doing, because like your body language and all that stuff can really be helpful and like reflect Jesus, or it can really not, depending on what you're doing. So yeah, those really little things in your actions are really able to like show Jesus to others.
In Sunday school, one of our teachers, he would be like, you can either throw someone an anchor or a life jacket. And so that made me think of when you just said that, like, do your actions and your words, are they throwing someone a life jacket that can bring them up, or are they throwing them an anchor that can like bring them down? And then for my piece of advice, it kind of went along with some other things we've already mentioned, but just like getting in the Bible and reading God's word, because it really truly does shape like your mindset going into the day. And yeah, it's just really beneficial.
No anchors, Ben. No anchors. That's why they're not going to Hope, right? Because they're
Right.
Anchors, so they're going to Dordt. They're going to defend the faith. Chad Carlson, who's on staff at Hope, and we didn't get to share. Maybe next time we have him on, we'll talk about the anchor. Life jacket. Love it. So as you look to get, I know you're going to university, I think probably this summer, a couple months, you're going to be headed off. What are you most excited about, and what are you trusting God for in the next chapter? I know you're going to leave your parents, so it's going to be the best days of your life, but also it could be the worst days of your life. So what is that you're looking forward to and excited about?
I would say I'm looking forward to like the Christian education again, because we go to a public high school right now. So yeah, just like Christian education and learning, and like we're all studying different things and like getting into those classes that are focused on that and like a Christian perspective. I'm like really excited for that.
And I would say I'm excited to just meet a ton of new people. It's like obviously a little bit nerve-wracking because you're just going to a new place, but I'm really excited to just build that community and to be around a lot of like-minded people, and just like and also the opportunity to play volleyball like at a Christian school, because like I said, most of our volleyball experience has been on like non-Christian teams. So we haven't really experienced like a fully Christian team. So that'll be really fun. I'm excited to experience that as well.
They kind of took my answers, but on top of that, yeah, just like meeting new people, just like college experience, having fun with everyone there, playing games, doing volleyball, all the things we love. I don't know.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
It's going to be good. It's going to be good. It's going to be a time of great formation, I think, as well. And yeah, having that chance to do it together will be amazing. So, you know, very unique experience. I don't know if that's very common in the States, but over here, that's, yeah, it's not too common. So, yeah, that's great. I'm sure it's going to be a really foundational time. And yeah, when you step away from your parents, you know, I think that's the time, especially over here in England, is when your identity, there's a temptation to kind of have a new identity kind of thing. But actually, I think what you have got a great opportunity is to affirm and go deeper in the identity you've already got as well. And it becomes your own and it gets stronger. And I think you're going to thrive over there as well. So, yeah, keep going, stick together, keep being each other's biggest cheerleader. And yeah, I'm sure you're going to have a great time, right, Mad Dog?
They will. And there's nothing else they can do in Iowa. You know, it's the school or nothing. So,
lots of cornfields.
Yeah, cornfields. So,
yeah.
There you go. Well, thank you guys for joining us, and we'll keep praying for you guys. And maybe in 5 years we'll have you back on, tell us what's happened, what's changed. So
yeah,
thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Good stuff. Not one, not two, three.
Three. Unbelievable. So much depth. Loved it. First triplets we've ever had on already won. First triplets. Yeah. We've had siblings, but we have never had triplets all at once.
We've had siblings?
I see in
yeah, but not at the same time. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
This is a new one. But yeah, really good. Really good. I love some of the advice around just showing up. I think that's a big thing within sports, right? Just turn up to training. I was having a conversation with someone literally last week talking about consistency, talking about this podcast actually. Someone who training him one-to-one, non-league player. I used to coach him when he was 16, and he came and did a session with me when he was 23. And he was saying about consistency is so important. And he said that loads of guests have talked about being consistent. So I was asking him, you know, what does it look like to show up? Just show up and keep showing up, keep showing up. You know, that's so important. So simple advice, but actually really difficult to do in this day and age, right? So yeah, really good.
And it is. I mean, it's they do. You know, I see him around at church. I see him, you know, in how they act outside of their family life. And it's you don't just get one, you get all three of them. So if you are struggling and you're a friend of one of them, you got three of them to come in and help and pray. So, it's been a good thing to watch them kind of grow up and develop, and mature. So it'll be interesting. I was kidding them. Maybe in 5 years we'll come back and see where they're at. But you could tell that sport is important to their lives. It's molded them. It's made them and who they are. But it's not their only thing. Their faith in God is what's really their foundation. So that's great to see and experience.
Yeah, that came through really strong. But are you throwing an anchor or are you throwing a life jacket?
We're not throwing anchors here. No anchors. There's no anchors. This is life jackets, people. We're throwing life jackets. That's not a better thing. I'm going to start talking about life jackets now on the screen.
There we go. Well, we already have the anchor, of hope. That's the only anchor I have. So I'm not throwing that around. Throwing around the life jackets. Come on, Mad Dog. What are you saying to bring people up? So good. So good.
Let's bring them out. That's good. I mean, it's all about, how you apply your faith, whether it's, again, at school, with friends, in situations that you're not normal, not used to, how do you act? How do you perform? How's God, resonate in your own life? So
all of them talk about we joked about the wheel, wasn't it? About the things that we teach in training, about making sure how do we speak to God? How does he speak to us? How do we speak to believers? How do we speak to those who don't know Christ? That is what they were doing. They were doing these disciplines all the time. You can't neglect those things. And I think a lot of our guests have spoken about those spiritual disciplines, which are so foundational, really, really simple. Those 4 things: speak to God, let him speak to you, speak to Christians, speak to those who don't know him. It's so simple, and that's a really, really basic way for us to grow in sport and faith together.
And one thing we didn't talk about in the interview, we forgot to ask them, they raised equipment. They got their own gear. We talked to them about the shirts that we're going to give the prize if they can name the order of the people, but they had all their gear because they're triplets. So they have uniforms, they had backpacks, they had other gear, pads, knee pads, shoes that we were able to distribute in Nigeria, in Southeast Asia, and other parts of the world that they took it upon themselves, not to just give what they have, but they also took the club and asked them, can you give? And it turned up.
There we go. So it's blessed some of our sports friends, fields as well, some coaches and teams as well. So good. Hey, if anyone else is listening who's got some kit, then maybe get in touch and donate it to some of our sports friends fields. Let's do it. So really good reminder there, Mad Dog. Really good stuff. So they were some of your friends, and they're going to tell some of their friends. But what else have we got to do?
You know what? They're going to also tell their parents, because their parents are probably going to hear about this, and their parents are going to tell their friends. I know some of their parents' friends. So you know what? They're going to tell them they already won, and we're thriving.
We thrive.
Life changes, baby.
Already won. Our mission is to help you thrive. Every Tuesday, join our hosts and guests. Discover how you're all